Welcome to Make a Path Presents, where we talk about everything that has to do with the world of The Walking Dead. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we're going to talk about Chris. Now, recently I read an interview with the showrunner, David Erickson, that made me really appreciate what's going on with Chris's story. Now, after the most recent episode, which was episode 6 of season 2, I got this whole new burst of interest in Chris's story because of the development that happened in that episode, the direction they took it. Now, in this interview, he answers a question. He answers some things to Chris mainly going into the room and picking up the knife that I think made me love Chris's story a hell of a lot more. Now, given he's still ambiguous with some of it, but that's what we're here to discuss. Now, I'm going to discuss 3 different topics in 3 different videos, and I'm going to try to get them all up today. No promises, but I'm going to try my best. This video is going to be Chris, the next one will probably be Nick, and then after that will be Cecilia. We've got some new developments also in another interview with David Erickson. I'm going to try to link the interviews down in the comment box, the video description. If you're interested, go down there to check out the full article because you can find a lot. They talk about Strand, Cecilia, Nick, they talk about Chris, they talk about a lot, so check that out. Now let's jump right into this. Now the one thing that's still a mystery is what prompted Chris to shoot Reed in the face. Other than our speculation that Reed was a complete douchebag, I would have shot him in the face too. He was a dickhead. Now, if you guys have read any articles that the showrunner may have came out and actually said specifically what happened, please let me know down in the comment box. And if you're going to speculate, also let me know down in the comment. Be like, oh, this is my opinion, because I'm trying to look for that to piece this together, because I tried looking it up and I didn't see much. I saw one blurb in an interview that was ambiguous as shit. It was, Chris was confused. But, why was he confused? What did Reed gurgle? And this is important for what's coming next. We don't know what happened with Reed, but okay, let's accept that. He shot him in the face. Why? I'm going to think he just got pissed off and lied about it. So afterwards, Travis has a discussion with him, and he reveals basically that Madison didn't believe him, And at this moment, Chris's big thing is not having this, post-apocalyptic family, his new family, the blended family now, hate him. And that's what the showrunner was discussing in an interview. That's his biggest fear, is that this family, the only people he's got left in this world, are going to hate him and he's going to become the outcast. Now, from that moment on, it doesn't give him the intent to see harm done to Madison. And then when Madison gets tackled later on, he has this brief hesitation, a moment of confusion possibly, where he's not, in the interview, it's made to believe that he's not thinking, ooh, this might be the solution to my problems. Just have Madison taken out. You know what I mean? Because that really doesn't jive with his whole, I'm afraid my family's, gonna hate me. Because if you're just gonna have them killed off, what does it really matter if they hate you? In the end, if you're just gonna have them whacked off or let them get eaten, doesn't really matter. So Chris honestly has this hesitation. He freezes for whatever reason. It's not clear. Even to himself, it's not clear. He just freezes. Now, even later on, they subtly do this. They don't spoon feed it, and they subtly do this where Chris is telling Alicia, he's like, listen, I froze. That's all there is. You didn't see what you saw. Da-da-da-da. I love that, because if it was spoon feeding, they would have done more to say, this is what he did specifically. The way they left it, if Chris admitted if they did it a different way and Chris was like, dude, I froze, I thought she got bit and my whole brain just shut down, I froze, I'm sorry, if he got on his knees and was bawling, and to Madison, if it ended different, I would have believed that, because it's not, so clear. He definitely could have got away with that if he wanted to just lie and be like, listen, da-da-da-da, So afterwards, he takes it too far, and I think this is a show of desperation and not necessarily anger. It could be a mix of both, but I would say there's more desperation, and this is when he grabs a hold of Alicia when she tries to leave, and he says, no, you gotta believe me, I don't want to hurt anybody else. Now that sounds like a threat, but it can also, again, this is what I love about it, it can also be genuine. He's like, I don't want to hurt Madison, I didn't want to hurt Madison, I didn't want her to get hurt, but at the same time, it sounds like a threat, like, you need to believe me and not tell anyone. I don't want to hurt you. You see how it kind of has that, mafia-style threat where it's indirectly, believe me, I don't want to hurt anybody, but he's saying, I'll kill you if you tell anyone. But technically, that's not what he's doing here. We got to understand, even though the actor's a little older in the show, he's only 16, he's a confused kid, just lost his mother. Even before that, they made a point of talking about how he was, alienated, isolated before this, with the breakup in the family and everything that was going on before the apocalypse hit and ripped his whole world apart. And keep in mind, his mother still died just, a week ago, So he's in a very fragile state. Now, after this, when he goes to Madison and Alicia's bedroom, now he calls for Alicia, and I think that was our clear sign. Now, this is what I like about it, because you can argue that he was calling for her to test and see if they're awake. If he's like, Alicia, and she woke up, maybe she wasn't sleeping heavily, and he could have been like, I came here to talk, when in reality, he had something else in mind. He was going to kill them both or something. Now, he wasn't doing that. The showrunner came out and said specifically, directly, that he did not go there to harm either one of them. He went there to plead his case with Alicia. He went there to try to help make her understand and win her back, Now, yes, he picked the wrong time, not when you're sleeping. Yes, he could have been an impulsive thing where he's like, I can't sleep till I clear this up. I can't go to bed. What if I don't get the chance? What if something pops off and we have to leave? What if they leave me behind? These are honest things that this kid could be thinking at 16 years old. A real apocalypse could be terrifying. Imagine going to bed thinking, what if my father loves me more than loves the other family more than me? What if he thinks I'm messed up now? What if he leaves me? What if something happens in the middle of the night and my family wants to bounce and, my family meaning even the ones that aren't his blood family, like Madison and Nick and everybody. If he's getting these insecure thoughts and these terrifying thoughts, that could absolutely, in my opinion, 100% be a good enough excuse for why he got up there. Bad timing, why he got up out of bed and went to their bedroom while they're sleeping. So now when he goes into the room, and I think this is the best part that made me go, I love this. And it's something I didn't think of. I'll be honest with you, I did not think of this. I probably wouldn't have come to this conclusion because, again, I was thinking, Chris is an angry kid. Maybe he's thinking, bump you off, get you out of the way, you won't be a problem for me. That's kind of where my head was. But Chris goes into the room after seeing the knife, and he picks up the knife because he's drawn to it, because he realizes the knife is there for him. The knife is there to protect them from him. And I think that was hard hitting. That realization when he goes and picks up the knife, that realization that this knife is not to protect the walkers. They're in a compound. There's no walkers getting in here. That knife is not for their protection against the undead, or even the people in the compound. It's there for him because they're afraid of him. I mean, that is powerful. At first I thought maybe he knew he was bouncing and he was going to take the knife for protection. He snuck in, took the knife, and he was going to leave, but he was glancing about it. I don't know why, But this, I love it. It just totally makes me look at the scene in a whole new light. The idea that he could have been terrified. Now, that's my take. The reason he gets up in the middle of the night, bad timing, that's not from the showrunner. That's what I get out of it. But the fact that he realized what the knife was for, that's from the showrunner. So I don't know if that's accurate, so I want to be clear about that. That's just my take of it. But seeing how terrified he is in this horrific situation, like this is the world where they're in. He's a young kid yet, confused, angry, he's in mourning. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on. It makes you feel for the kid. Bitch Chris, kind of feel sorry for him. Especially now after realizing, man, that must be, a heavy dose of reality or a heavy pill to swallow, being like, I'm holding a knife they're going to use, or they plan to use, as protection against me. Like, this family that's supposed to love me and be there for me and care for me and help me and watch my back, they are afraid that I'm going to hurt them. They don't understand me. They don't get me. They think I'm a danger. They think I'm a threat. They don't want to be around me, So, I mean, that's some hard shit to comprehend, especially for a young guy. Anyway, I don't want this video to go on real long because then it's going to be take longer to upload and I might not get all 3 videos up. So I'm going to cut it off here. Please go and visit that article to read more, because I did leave some things out of there. Some just weren't important for the conversation. Some things I just probably didn't remember. So go check that article out, and please leave your thoughts and opinions in that comment box. And do me a favor, especially during the downtime, smash that like button, show some love. Again, thoughts and opinions in that comment box, because I'm done talking, so it's your turn. Subscribe now.